Hello there, I'm MountPain27 and this is Dean of Doom, the show where we give grades to classic and contemporary Doom wads. Why? Because ranking things is fun. Today's episode will be dedicated to Hell Revealed, a megawad by Yonatan, Donner and Haggay Niv, released in 1997. You guys voted for it, so here it is. Hell Revealed is one of the most played pwads of all time, and if it didn't invent the concept of slaughter mapping outright, it's certainly the megawad that popularized it. Known for its extreme difficulty on the ultraviolent setting, Hell Revealed took the Casali Brothers' teachings from the Plutonia Experiment and did them one better. Hell Revealed is more sadistic, excessive, and nefarious than anything id Software ever dreamed of releasing, and continues to offer new players significant challenge and frustration to this day. Your mission is? To find out what your mission is, and upon completion, send a letter of complaint to the madmen who sent you here. If you want to read the rest of the story, you can send $500 to Donner and Niv, or enter a nuthouse. This is Doom, man. Just go in there and kill. Before we do so, here's how the show works. We give each level in the WAD 2 grades, one for quality and one for difficulty. We grade quality from A to F, and difficulty from X to E. X for extreme, E for easy, and A through D in between. A grade A level is fun, memorable, visually distinctive, creative, and a fair challenge. Lower grades indicate the level lacks some or all of these qualities. Bear in mind that even in 1997, I probably wouldn't have been considered good at Doom, and these reviews reflect only my opinions, so our definitions of difficulty and great map design will surely differ. Disagreeing is part of the fun, after all. At the end of the day, this show is about spreading the joy of Doom, so let's do so. For the new viewers in the audience, here are the rules. 1. We play on ultraviolence. 2. We play each level from a pistol start. 3. In order to review the WAD, I must have played it at least twice. 4. Saves are allowed, but discouraged. Well, actually, I'm going to be saving like crazy in this run, so I'll just scratch that one. And 5. I go for 100% kills in all levels, making exceptions in cases where it's just not worth it. I play on Z-Doom with compatibility settings on strict. Now to the WAD. Map 1. Into the Gate. Not a bad start. Into the Gate likes its teleport traps, but is kind enough to give the player a berserk to deal with all those pinkies. Except for the hit scanners, you'll mostly be dealing with monsters single file. Say hi and bye to the world's loneliest cacodemon and skedaddle. It's a shame Hell Revealed wastes one of the best Rise of the Triad middies on its short opener, though it's hard not to get excited to play the rest of the megawad after hearing it. Grade C+, difficulty D-. Map 2. Gateway Lab. Unpopular opinion, I kinda like Hell Revealed's early levels. I think it's the lack of indiscriminate sadism that appeals to me. Gateway Lab isn't the prettiest, but it's hard to make mowing down fodder and hit scanners unfun. Grade B-, difficulty D-. Map 3, The Dumpster. Here's a pro tip for Hell Revealed. Don't try to beat a level until you've already played the level. Exhibit A, shooting at these monsters through the window wakes up more downstairs, who will eat you for breakfast. If you played the level already, you'll know not to do that. See what I mean? The rest of the map is mostly unthreatening, and its grimy texturing adds to the scenery more than you'd expect. Grade C+, difficulty D. Map 4, The Garden Terminal. Probably the easiest level in the megawad, the Garden Terminal is textbook filler. Not sure why the BFG is here, because you definitely don't need it, and this dead marine by the blue key is even more inexplicable. Did the demons bore him to death? Guess we'll never know. Shout out to the megawad's first Baron of Hell. Grade D, difficulty E, and why don't we add a Baron counter, just for the fun of it. Baron count 1. Map 5, Core Infection. This congested tech base is Hell Revealed's first bump in the road. Ammo might get dicey as you're forced to contend with a lot of bullet sponges in tight quarters without a super shotgun. If you're not a Doom scrub like I am, you should be able to execute a grab on the plasma rifle here, which makes the level much easier. Then again, if you're playing Hell Revealed, you're probably not the kind of person who likes making things easy for yourself. Grade C, difficulty C+, Baron count 3. Map 6, The Round Crossroads. After an energetic start where you're tasked with clearing out the title courtyard, the Round Crossroads devolves into a blah key hunt. The enemies crowding this map's corridors are even meatier than those in Core Infection. Hell Revealed's legendary run of Baron abuse begins here. Beware of surprise crushers and don't be afraid to spam the plasma gun, you get plenty of ammo for it and it'll save you time. Grade C+, difficulty C+, Baron count 8. Map 7, Arachnophobia. Subtlety is not something Hell Revealed is known for. Haggay Niv's first solo contribution to the megawad, Arachnophobia, is a giant spider filled with spiders. If killing arachnotrons with a super shotgun is your cup of tea, then actually it'll probably still bore the shit out of you. Take laps around the arena, giving facefuls of flack to every four-legged freak you meet, and in a few minutes everything will be dead. Just before you exit, Mama Spider will spawn in and make a pitiful attempt to avenge her offspring. Stand a good distance away, take out the rocket launcher, and hold down the fire button to send her headlong back into hell with her kids. It's easy to dunk on this map with its silly premise and repetitive action, but I just can't dislike it. Grade C+, difficulty D, Baron count 0. Footnote, this is the last map in Hell Revealed that doesn't contain Barons of Hell. Map 8, The Jail. There's not much to say about the jail. It's drab and dismal, which I suppose is a compliment. The jail doesn't put up much of a fight, probably because a good percentage of the opposition is behind bars. I feel like they could have saved this MIDI for a harder level. It's incredibly bleak. Don't shirk on secret hunting if you want 100% kills. Grade C+, difficulty C-, Baron count 3. Map 9, Knockout. Welcome to Hell Revealed's first tripping block. Prepare a bucket of ice for your left hand, because after all the demon tenderizing you're about to do, you're gonna need it. Knockout isn't a true Tyson level, since you will obtain a shotgun, chain gun, and some ammo for both weapons, but I highly recommend saving it for monsters that are out of reach or when punching is unfeasible. The map can be a pain to traverse, owing to the damaging floor that connects the two main areas and contains a must-have secret ammo stash. With the red and yellow keys in hand, get ready for the title match. The challenger? A lot of imps. Any ammunition you've got left, don't be afraid to unload it here. Side note, Hell Revealed has a thing with odd monster blocking line defs. I've never seen monsters more conspicuously impeded by impassable, invisible walls than in this megawad. It kinda ruins the immersion for me, frankly.
Wait, did you just say it ruins the immersion?
Yes I did.
In a game where you run 30 miles an hour, never reload most of your weapons, can't look up or down, and walk around a chunky world of hyper-pixelated landscapes shooting 2D demons?
Everyone, say hello to the Delinquent of Doom. He's a bit of a problem student.
Imagine a shooting game that says, hey, for this level, you're not allowed to use guns. It intentionally gets rid of a fundamental game mechanic for a cheap difficulty hike. That's a bit silly, don't you think?
Well, that's this map's gimmick. It forces you to play creatively if you want to beat it. Kinda like a puzzle.
I'm not buying it. It just rings of, we ran out of ideas, so we're intentionally taking away the only fun part of the game to make you struggle unnecessarily.
Well, if you're playing Hell Revealed, you're an experienced doomer looking for a challenge.
Okay, Doomer.
Clear the imps, chip away at the Mancubi, and you'll be able to make a run for the exit. Hopefully you've saved that invulnerability, as it helps make mincemeat of any monsters you left behind. Knockout is not an easy map to appreciate on first playthrough, but it's good boxing practice for veterans and an introduction to the resource deprivation and excess that comprise Yonatan Donner's brand of cruelty. Grade B-, difficulty B+, Baron count 4. Map 10, Chambers of War. Even by Hell Revealed standards, this map is not easy on the eyes. It's profoundly brown, religiously square, and suffers from bland monster placement. Find the plasma gun as quickly as you can, and the rest of the map is like taking candy from a zombie man. I do like the hedge maze at the end, though I have to point out, being able to see over the hedges kinda defeats the purpose. Grade D, difficulty C-, Baron count 6. Map 11, Underground Base. This is pretty much the point of no return. Underground Base on Ultraviolence is where most sane people will close the game and get on with their lives. It's a lengthy and intractable map that tests your patience as much as your skills. The rest of Hell Revealed is more of the same, so if that's your thing, then stick around. Underground Base starts off hostile and claustrophobic, forcing you to run from fights or grind down enemies with a shotgun. Clear out the starting area, hopefully find a critical secret plasma rifle, and you'll be sort of ready to face the big room with the wooden towers and 2 cyber demons. The archvile count on this map is obscene, but luckily the few that are surrounded with friends are easily distracted. This map loses big points for making its rocket launcher a secret. If you want all the kills, it is not optional, but for some reason Yonatan Donner thought it would be a good idea to hide it behind a fake wall. I also have to take out my red pen for this flagrant monster blocking line def usage. I get that he didn't want the pinkies to be able to leave the room, but there are more organic ways of achieving that. Grabbing the BFG here will summon a cyber demon, and if you don't mind waiting, you can recruit him to murder the peripheral barons and revenants. Underground Base's 2 spider demons are an afterthought, and the map concludes on a time-consuming baron and Hell Knight cage fight. Wiggling through the cage maze to catch the exit door before it closes is the cherry on top of an already frustrating experience. Grade C, difficulty A-, Baron count 21. Map 12, Great Halls of Fire. Great Halls of Fire is a boxy, patchwork mess of a map, and only a little less painful to play than it is to look at. The super shotgun room dispenses barons like a vending machine. Killing them one at a time seems to be the intended method, but you can leave them for later if you want to. This fight was apparently one of Yonatan Donner's, quote, favorites, which in retrospect explains a lot. I'm not a fan of these sinking floors that lock you into fights with floating foes, and the cyber demon cameo is made kinda pathetic by the big friggin' gun. Don't forget about the world's most irrelevant pain elemental hidden behind this firewall. Grade D, difficulty B, Baron count 11. Map 13, Last Look at Eden. If you don't know what you're in for, this map will give you a whipping. If you'd prefer not to shotgun your way through a stultifying mass of demons, try to finesse your way out of the first room without firing a shot, which is a headache and a half by itself, hustle past these tiers of pain, again without firing a shot, grab the SSG, and finally take this demon-infested park to task. Thread your way around a Mancubian bombardment, meddling barons and Hell Knights, the occasional archvile, and a centrally located cyber demon, and then it's time for the blue key room, famously deemed nearly impossible by Yonatan Donner. It's an insane, coverless endurance test, locking the player in a cage surrounded by chain gunners, revenants, barons, Hell Knights, and cacodemons for 30 seconds. What you're watching now is my 15th attempt. Don't look too closely or it'll give you motion sickness. This fight is highly luck-based. If the chain gunners and most of the revenants don't get distracted, you're a goner, and even then, taking heavy damage is inevitable. With all the keys in hand, you'll have to carefully pick your way back through all the enemies you ignored earlier, which is less than stellar. Last Look at Eden is considered one of the hallmark maps of Hell Revealed, but I have to say, if it had a different MIDI, I doubt it would be remembered so fondly. Grade B-, difficulty A+, Baron count 19. Map 14, City in the Clouds. Well, I hope you're psychic or armed with a rigorous plan, because City in the Clouds hardly lets you pass the starting line if you're not already intimately familiar with it. All your weapons are locked away at the start, and there's nary a hit scanner to bum a firearm from, so you're essentially naked and getting shelled by revenants, arachnotrons, macubi, and a cyber demon right from the get-go. The rocket launcher is in this room, but if you try to defend yourself against the imps and pinkies guarding it, the room floods with cacodemons. The shotgun, yes, the lowly shotgun, is guarded by imps, hell knights, a baron, and an archvile. Now that you're minimally armed, resist the temptation to use the invulnerability sitting in the middle of the street, hack through these specters, blow up the archvile posse guarding the blue key, and again, don't shoot when you're up there grabbing it, because you'll wake up 3 more archviles down in the specter gully you just cleared out, rendering escape impossible. Oh yeah, and watch out for that cyber demon on your way out. With the blue key in hand, the rest of the map is a cinch. Just berserk punch some revenants, hell nobles, and archviles in tight quarters, dodge another cyber demon and some spiders, kill more archviles, and with all 3 keys in hand, you can finally exit. If you're not an OCD case like myself. The cleanup required to 100% City in the Clouds is extensive and unpleasant. At this point, you've left several archviles, the cacodemon ambush, the majority of the revenant window snipers, and at least 2 cyber demons alive. The cyber demons especially are a real kick in the teeth if you don't have a BFG, so I'll just make this jump and god damn it! According to Yonatan Donner, parts of this map came to him in a dream. But for the player, City in the Clouds is a complete nightmare. Grade C, difficulty X-, Baron count 10. Look guys, I'll be honest, I don't want to go any further with this. After the secret maps, Hell Revealed only gets more exhausting, and I know you guys voted on it and everything, but...
Play the game, Mount Pain 27.
Okay. Map 15, Gates to Hell. Brace yourselves, because I actually kind of like this map. Sure, the Baron cleanup at the end kind of kills the vibe, and the secrets are so missable that they more or less mandate a reading of the Hell Revealed info pack, but the rest of the map is upbeat and intense, setting the tone with a swath of mancubi and a swarm of imps at the start, and serving up a new fight for every gate you enter. Gates to Hell has an engaging layout, and is for the most part one of Hell Revealed's more chipper maps. Grade B, difficulty B+, Baron count 32. Map 31, The Descent. One of the ugliest, dullest maps I've ever played. A no-effort gimmick, executed lazily and without a drop of fun. You'll spend the first half of the map waiting for the elevator to hit the ground floor while battling a drip feed of random monsters, or not. You can block them from teleporting in by standing on their spawn spot if you wish. At the bottom, get ready to be reamed by chain gunners and specters, and then ambushed by revenants and barons when you grab a keycard. There are also cyber demons in each of the 4 corner rooms who seem to exist only to waste your time. The icing on the cake is, if you want to go to the super secret level, you need to navigate a platforming section so treacherous it almost made your mild-mannered Dean throw his mouse across the room. I can't find a single positive thing to say about this map. Even the music selection grates. Lee Jackson's rendition of Adagio in G minor sounds like the original on Adderall and contributed significantly to my aggravation. Skip this one. Grade F, difficulty B, Baron count 15. Map 32, Mostly Harmful. My favorite map in Hell Revealed so far, Mostly Harmful is short, explosive, and not as difficult as advertised. Best of all, I can let myself skip going for 100% kills because it uses a monster spawner. You're looking at 4 copy-pasted rooms packed to the gills with archviles, macubi, hell knights, barons, and cyber demons, a central fortress ringed by a moat full of more monsters, and a parapet clogged with revenants. Lucky for you, Mostly Harmful comes with 12 megaspheres and a BFG right at the start. Hold down the fire button and don't let go. When you've cleared out all the rooms and acquired 3 keys, stand on the exit pad and die. No, really. The map ends when your health dips under a certain threshold. Fun fact, compared to other difficulties, the number of barons in this level actually decreases on ultraviolence. Grade B+, difficulty A-, Baron count 16. Map 16, The Path. Barons everywhere. The Path is a sobering drudge of a map, an overscaled dung heap, inundated in damaging blood, and riddled with unconscionable numbers of tanky foes. Players less than conversational in Hell Revealed will have trouble finding their way around because everything looks the f***ing same, and the action consists 10% of diagnosing how to take care of a fight and 90% of holding down the fire button, waiting for stuff to die. What exactly is this spider demon for? Are all these Hell Knights really necessary? What is it about Barons of Hell that Yonatan Donner loves so much? The Path is an enemy of fun, and I despise it. Grade D-, difficulty A, Baron count 45. Yikes. Map 17, The Black Towers. And we're back with another installment of Too Many Barons. Black Towers can be thought of as a friendlier city in the clouds in that it gives you guns at the start but is otherwise a surly son of a bitch. 3 of these rooms will kill you quick. You should see it coming from a mile away, but this Berserk room is a pinky death trap, this Chain Gunner pit is BS, and don't stick around the Blue Key room long or you're history. As it happens, I almost like this map, maybe because by now I've been conditioned to see Hell Revealed as work, as opposed to, entertainment. The Black Towers is an amiable grind, I suppose. Grade B-, difficulty A-, Baron count 38. Map 18, Hard Attack. Time to smack some cyberglutes, boys and girls. If you want basically the experience of playing Hell Revealed without actually finishing the whole megawad, I recommend playing Hard Attack. It sports the highest Baron count in the megawad, a memorable gimmick in the form of this game of Cyberdemon Telefrag tag. It has no visual chops whatsoever, it's exciting in fits and starts, and contains yet another egregious use of monster blocking line defs. Most of the action takes place around an enormous indoor fortress. The wall tops are patrolled by 3 × 10⁸ revenants, and after being subjected to 15 minutes of their continuous screaming, it gives me great pleasure to shut them up. This fight in the center of the fortress with Mancubi, Arachnotrons, and the Cyberdemon whose cheeks you saw me pounding on earlier is unexpectedly fun, and when you grab the BFG, these 8 surrounding cages fill with Archviles. I have to give it up to Yonatan, this is a clever fight, as you're forced to juggle pressure from incoming Revenant fireballs with Archvile surveillance. The rest of the map, unfortunately, is a major drag, mostly spent picking off vulgar quantities of enemies that can't really hurt you, and waiting for demons to settle their disputes with violence. Overall, it's not as bad a map as I thought it was going to be going in, but I still don't love it. Grade C, difficulty A, Baron count 60. Map 19, Everything Dies. This concept map is a welcome relief from the grind of the past 8 maps. The trick is, you get a full backpack of ammo and a megasphere in the first room, and nothing else for the rest of the level. It's not as bad as it sounds, I promise. The pain elementals at the start won't attack you until you grab the loot due to an exploitation of the lost soul limit, and I spent more time beating these domesticated meatballs to death with my bare hands than I did on any other encounter in the level. Save your cells for Archviles and the 2 boss monsters, rock it when you feel like you have to, and you should finish the map with a good chunk of your stash remaining. After Fire and Ice and Demonic Hordes, You Suck feels very misplaced here. Grade B-, difficulty D+, Baron count 4. Map 20, Terminator 2, Judgment Day. The sudden absence of Rise of the Triad music is a bad omen indeed. From pistol start, this map is oppressive, forcing you to whittle away at Pinkies, Hell Knights, Barons, Mancubi, and even Archviles with a shotgun for the first 5 minutes. The room with the yellow key, chain gun, and rocket launcher features yet another dunderhead use of a monster blocking line def, but I'm glad it's there this time because dealing with all this on a cramped staircase would be awful. Finding the secret SSG isn't hard, but overlook it and your life will become distinctly more miserable. It's pointless and mean. After procuring the yellow key, you can watch monsters kill each other or go snipe some out-of-reach Cacos and Pain Elementals in the meantime, because God knows that's the kind of action we all crave. This room with the teleporting Barons is straight out of the Plutonia playbook, and no less stupid than it is in the Death domain. Come to think of it, that was also a map 20. Coincidence? I don't really care, to be honest. If you want my rigorously researched academic opinion on Judgment Day, here it is. This map sucks.
Very professional.
Shouldn't you be in detention? Grade F. Difficulty A-, Baron count 28. Map 21, Siege. I have to appreciate the laid-back maps when they come along, because in Hell Revealed, breathers are scarce and never last long enough. Siege is cute, I guess. The house you start in is stocked with health and armor, and your lawn is strewn with guns and ammunition. The monsters can't follow you back here, so feel free to retreat whenever you feel threatened. Not much else to it. Don't get overwhelmed, take advantage of the map's generosity, and sow the seeds of infighting as often as you can. I don't love this last room, where you'll be dealing with 4 Cyberdemons and an orgy of Pinkies. You can use the Cybers to disperse the crowd by dropping them into the water with any of 4 switches, but that's risky. Grade B-, difficulty B, Baron count 12. Map 22, Resistance is Futile. If you've made it this far, buckle up, because the trilogy of maps 22 to 24 is Hell Reveal's last bid to make you rage quit. Resistance is Futile is the most entertaining of the 3 by a wide margin. Probably the best map in the set so far. It's non-stop slaughter under a starry sky, trenches full of Barons, parades of Revenants on the prowl, Archviles purring away behind meat shields, and a full roster of Cyberdemons all eagerly await their chance to put you in the ground. Resistance is Futile was the inspiration for Alien Vendetta's No Guts, No Glory, and I gotta say, it's worthy source material. This map kicks ass. I do have a bone to pick with this tiny Arachnotron Cyberdemon room, which can go sideways quickly with bad RNG, but other than that, well, the action speaks for itself. Grade A-, difficulty A, Baron count 43. Map 23, Ascending to the Stars. Oh boy, to give you a blow-by-blow of the plotting, psychotic mess that is Ascending to the Stars would require more stamina and goodwill than I can currently spare. But lucky for me, a picture is worth 1,000 words, and I've got 50 minutes of footage that I can use to illustrate the horror of playing it. Every encounter in this map is a giant middle finger, but this chain gunner room is a clenched fist of middle fingers. There's absolutely no defending this. It's just a roll of the dice and then you probably die. Hell Revealed's brand of excess is already not one I particularly enjoy, but the tedium here is unprecedented. Aside from the visuals, which were definitely given special attention, I can't find a single thing I actually like about Ascending to the Stars. Grade D-, difficulty X for all the wrong reasons, Baron count 44. Map 24, Post-Mortem. Hell Revealed's difficulty is a direct function of your familiarity with it, and no map better illustrates that idea than Post-Mortem. Taking inspiration from Doom 2's The Living End and Plutonia's Final Frontier and Antichrist, Post-Mortem is described by its creator as the hardest map in Hell Revealed. It very nearly lives up to that title. The opening minute is unfiltered insanity. Unless you know where to find the secret invulnerabilities down in the poison blood, you're going to die aplenty. Wait, what am I saying? No matter what you do, you're going to die aplenty. Post-Mortem has the highest enemy count of the megawad and arguably the most merciless placements. Dodging long-range Revenant missiles and Cyberdemon rockets is a constant source of distress, and when coupled with lurking Archviles, a surplus of pain elementals, and a dwindling supply of rad suits, you got big problems. The only good news is, once you've established a foothold, you're usually given enough supplies to defend it. Pay particular attention to the Cyberdemons in this map. They're formidable snipers and can close off entire sections of the map if you keep them alive for too long. The last fight pits you up against 5 of them and several Mancubi. The limited room, erratic Mancubi teleportation, and sheer projectile density make this a severe final test for those attempting to do this saveless. To that challenge, I say thanks, but no thanks. Post-Mortem is not unjustifiably famous, but I have no fondness for it. Grade B, difficulty X-, Baron count 41. Map 25, Dead Progressive. Dead Progressive is like Resistance's Futile Junior. You get a boomstick right out of the gate to deal with this courtyard full of ne'er-do-wells, and every skull switch releases a new round of challengers. The blue key trap is more annoying than it is dangerous, with chain gunners tickling you from both sides, and a crowd of fangirling demons down below. To escape, wait until the bars raise, though you can get locked in for an additional 30 seconds if you trip the wrong line def accidentally. I don't know if it's easy per se, but Dead Progressive was definitely designed as a break map, and I appreciate it. Grade B, difficulty B-, Baron count 6. Map 26, Afterlife. Where'd this come from? Seriously, where did this come from? Finding Afterlife at the tail end of Hell Revealed is like discovering a long-lost Salvador Dali painting at a high school art show. It's a surreal and highly experimental map, much more sophisticated than its peers, but still dedicated to grinding gameplay and claustrophobic staging, making it trademark Yonatan Donner. It's no secret, but Hell Revealed is not a beautiful megawad. Nevertheless, I'm drawn to this map's visuals. The starting area, suspended in the stars, this dark void arena with the Cyberdemon, Archviles, and supporting cast, and look at this chessboard. Amazing. Now don't get caught gawking at the scenery, because Afterlife is a ballbuster. The outdoor area is a total clusterfuck. This busy blue corridor with the Spider Demon and the aforementioned dark room are both harrowing. The green marble cathedral that keeps repopulating with chain gunners and archviles is a test of your nerves, and you're given only the super shotgun to deal with all this. It could be worse. I mean, if I only get to pick one gun, I'm picking the super shotty every time. Afterlife is perhaps best known for taking advantage of the infamous ghost monsters bug, which affects dead enemies crushed into pools of gore who are then resurrected by archviles. These ghost monsters retain the physical properties of a pool of gore after being resurrected. That is, they have a height and radius of 0, which allows them to walk through solid objects, and you can't harm them directly except with splash damage. From pistol start, that means you're out of luck. Afterlife is intense, atmospheric, and maverick work. It makes me wonder how Donner would have evolved as a mapper if he stuck around the Doom scene longer. Grade A, difficulty X-, Baron count 19. Map 27, Cyberpunk 1997.
Anywhere else.
The final stretch of Hell Revealed sees Haggay Niv take the wheel with uneven results. Cyberpunk is probably his worst contribution to the megawad, all due to his excruciatingly clumsy monster placement. This flock of imps makes up almost 2/3 of the map's population, and I almost feel bad for them. It's like lambs to the slaughter. Then you spend half a minute taunting a spider demon, another 2.5 minutes pot-shouting 6 harmless archviles, another minute and a half felling barons of hell, and finally arrive at the main attraction of the level, a maze with half a dozen cyber demons in it. It seems kind of, I don't know, impolite to bury your map's super shotgun and BFG in obscure secrets when they're the only means of killing those cyber demons. According to the info pack, Cyberpunk took a long time to develop, but in my opinion, it was released to the public unfinished. Grade D-, difficulty B, Baron count 16. Map 28, Top Hell. Top Hell is probably the most beef per capita of any Doom map I know of. You won't find a single enemy with less than 500 hit points here. I knocked out most of the level with only the rocket launcher because I'm an airhead and forgot where the BFG was, but it proves this map is manageable despite its foreboding first impression. Eliminating the 8 Cyber Demon sentries is Top Hell's deadliest chore, but the Archvile room and the Cyber Demon's revenge from tricks and traps can also spiral out of control. Though it's somewhat clumsy compared to Yonatan's more focused work, Top Hell is a solid map and probably Haggay's best work in the megawad. Grade B, difficulty A, Baron count 55. Map 29, Temple of Fear. I think even Haggay and Yonatan were a little disappointed with how this map turned out. The latter commented in the info pack that Haggay ratcheted up the difficulty in Top Hell because his penultimate map turned out to be too easy. Temple of Fear is roundabout and mediocre. I just played it and I'm having trouble remembering any worthwhile fights besides the first room where you're made to juggle 2 archviles behind a barrier, ducking revenant missiles and barons of hell. One thing I do remember is this secret which makes you feel around in total darkness and punishes you with super slime for going the wrong way. That's worth an IDDT in my book. The final challenge of Hell Revealed's semi-final round is a massive anticlimax. A wide open arena with just 2 cyber demons. Pathetic. Sorry, Haggay. Your pentagram is outstanding, but Temple of Hell is a miss. Grade C-, difficulty B-, Baron count 26. Map 30, Hell Revealed. Hell Revealed concludes on the worst note possible. A hyperactive circus of an icon of sin map that takes everything I hate about Doom 2's finale and makes it 10 times worse. The arena comes preloaded with barons, revenants, archviles, and a cyber demon, and the icon shotgun spawn cubes at you 4 at a time. In under a minute, the field will become so congested you won't be able to fire a rocket without killing yourself, which is a sort of blessing in disguise, actually, because this map is enough to make anyone suicidal. This is the worst icon of sin map I have ever seen. Yonatan deserves a morning in the pillory and a face full of rotten vegetables for this. Grade F, difficulty X, Baron count 6, for a grand total of 592 barons, or about 18.5 BPM. Barons per map. So, Hell Revealed is a part of Doom legend for good reason. It's challenging, eclectic, and audacious. That said, playing it, replaying it, and reliving those replays and writing was like pulling teeth. I understand it being a nostalgia pick for some, but an overwhelming majority of these maps are dated, clunky, time-consuming, and dour. Hell Revealed mandates encyclopedic foreknowledge of its map's layouts to obtain 100% completion, and frequently confuses tedium with challenge, most famously with its now oft-memed usage of Barons of Hell. I think I can acknowledge its historical significance, and at the same time quietly but firmly discourage new players from trying it out. My final grade for Hell Revealed is a C-. Difficulty-wise, Hell Revealed is very punishing. Pound for pound, it's the hardest megawad I've reviewed for this show, so I'll give it an A+. Now for my Dean's List. Valedictorian, Map 26, Afterlife. Salutatorian, Map 22, Resistance is Futile. Class President, Map 23, Ascending to the Stars. And the dunce cap goes to, today it'll be 2 unlucky maps, Map 20, Judgment Day, and Map 30, Hell Revealed. Thank you very much for watching, and please feel free to share your thoughts in the WAD down below. I'd love to hear what you think, and I'll heart your comments to let you know I've read them. This is Mount Pain 27, and I'll see you in the Dean of Doom Season 1 finale.